Alright, so I'm sitting here waiting for my cat. I was poking around at my plants, as I usually do, and I was noticing just something interesting about the growth pattern here. Now, that bush right there is a normal salvia, because I've got salvias everywhere. This is a Ponzo blue sage salvia. Obviously a bushy variety. Not its blooming season yet. But as a bush variety, this guy grows in very bushy fashion. He's about, what, 4 years old? Almost 5 years old, I think. I'll have to double check that, but look at that nice thick root system. Really good trunk. Very established root systems. And digs down there and gets its water. It is actually on the drip system as well, but very well established. Really mostly needs the water for the first couple of years. Then after it's established, we can mostly take it back, except for also a lot of drought, so make sure it doesn't die off. But very good, very thick bush. Then over there next to it, we have the salvia creeping gray sage, bee's bliss, which I have in many places. The reason for this guy being kind of tattered is because the fence just got replaced. So he kind of got stomped on and got a little bit. These guys have a tendency to break off and move around anyhow, but yeah, this guy definitely went through a little bit of a hard time when we were redoing the fence there. But survives. And as a creeping sage, we look down here, and his method is to come down here, and you notice his other side broke off completely there. But his method is to come down here and grow out and start going along the ground so he can put runners down everywhere. He's got a nice set of root systems right over there. He's got a set of root systems over there, a set of root systems over here, and actually when I trace him back, this guy broke off. Probably about the fence broken chime. But this branch is obviously well established completely on its own. Does not actually need that connection there anymore, because it's grown right next to the ground and has dug its root systems in and is now completely independent of the original source. Which I'll admit is actually, it's actually a good argument for not having too much mulch around. Because if you have too much mulch around, they won't be able to sink their tentacles in and get themselves established down into the ground. For all these creeping ones, I actually worry about that a little bit because I've got a good, nice thick mulch set for weed control. But when you've got the creeping plants that need to establish themselves, it needs to be thin enough that they can go ahead and get themselves worked in there as well. So, oh. But, yeah. So, creeping gray sedge, which meanders itself along and reroots itself periodically as it can. I mean, look at that. I mean, when the fence was replaced, rather obviously, this growth was not here when that fence got dug in and stepped down. So this is all new growth in just the last, what, 4 months? So, 4 months, a very happy little creeping gray sage. And established itself without connection to the main root system. Whereas on the other hand, you've got the blue sage right there, whose strength is in the very, very thick, deep rooting for the primary. I mean, if I broke a branch off and tried to root it, put it in water or something, I probably could manage to do a rooting, as humankind has done for a long time. But its strength is definitely in that primary branch zone, rather than the creeping varieties, which are designed to trail along, get a new root system, trail along, put in a new root system. So, just found that interesting.